Hello everybody. Today I have the GSR 400 with me. I got it from a rental place called Auto Exchange, and I'm gonna try it out. I have my 2A license. I just haven't had the chance of riding a 2A bike. So this is it, the GSR 400. Let's hop on. Okay. And there we go. I don't particularly like these mirrors, but whatever gets me through the day. Okay, now we're finally on the road on the GSR 400. Man, this thing feels like a whole different ball game from my MSX, man. I mean, on the MSX it's 125cc, but damn, I really like this bike. I don't know why, but I can finally understand why people love getting the Super 4 CB400 so much as a Class 2A bike. But damn, these things can pull. But as usual, we're in Singapore traffic, and it's the morning commute to work, and I can't really do much since there's so many vehicles, especially on this part of the highway. It feels so much better than riding a 2B bike, to be honest. Especially with this inline 4. I mean, it's a small inline 4, but yeah, it feels very smooth. Like there's still some buzz to the handlebars. A little bit of like how do you call it? It's like a nice buzz, but it's not like an annoying buzz like riding a 2B bike, a single cylinder bike. I really do understand why people love buying the Super 4 and having it as a long-term bike for commute in Singapore. I mean, it's smooth. It's the power band is there. You can reach the rev limiter shows up to like 14,000 RPM, but I've barely touched that. I've barely touched the red line, especially for daily commutes. It's pretty good. There's enough power to cruise on the highway comfortably at around what 5,000 4,000 RPM on 6th gear. So you have a bit of open stretch here. Oh damn, not even reaching the limiter yet. Haven't even reached the speed limiter. I mean, not speed limiter, rev limit for this bike yet. And damn, there's enough power to get you around, man. Personally like this bike specifically just because it's a bit beefier looking than the Super 4. On the highways, it's fine on the highways. Look, I'm cruising at around 6,000 RPM within the speed limit, yes. And yeah, it's not that bad. I really like the smoothness of an inline 4, aside from the slight buzziness in the handlebars, because I guess it's a really old bike. I'm not sure about how new bikes feel. I've ridden the Super 4 only once, and it was during the upgrade license to 2A, and you barely get to push it at this kind of speeds anyway, so I can't comment on that. But damn, this bike feels nice. Feels very well planted. Very, due to the smaller width of the handlebars, you can easily split traffic if you want to. I mean, it looks big, but it's not that big. Of course, this bike loaned to me by Auto Exchange is fitted with Michelin Pilot 5 tires, and they are doing a pretty good job of being very sticky on the road, especially during this wet weather period. It's been raining for the past few days, and the roads are kind of damp, not really dry, and still feels pretty confident riding around. I don't feel any loss of traction or anything. Yeah, these tires, they're pretty damn good tires too. I'm so glad they used the Michelin Road 5s instead of any other tires though. I heard they are pretty good tires in general. And I could see myself using this as a daily commute bike for class 2A. If you're, I don't know, if you're in the market for a class 2A bike, I highly recommend getting anything more than a single cylinder. That's I know. I mean, you have the ability to get a class 2A bike within 400cc and below, and most of the options are what, the Duke 390, Duke and RC 390, which is still single cylinder. Options from Yamaha would be the R3, MT-03, those are parallel twin, and from, I don't know, what, Kawasaki, the Ninja 400, that's still available in Singapore. But this GSR, can't find them anymore. They're not even I think they're, if I'm not wrong, they're more, this is a JDM bike, Japanese domestic market bike. So Singapore only has like a few, I don't know, a handful of them left on the roads. Most of them are rented out, like this case, and I don't know, some of them might have been already scrapped, since this bike came out quite long ago, and I don't think that many people have renewed the COE for this. Okay, that was the end of the highway portion. That was not bad. It was like better than riding my MSX, where the engine is struggling at like 90% throttle, and even at 90% throttle I can only get like what, up to GPS speed of about 90 kilometers per hour, and that is when I'm really quite pushing it. For this, no effort at all. Alright, while we chill behind this very long and wide vehicle, let me talk about a bit about this bike. I mean, if you have noticed that this bike is kind of similar to what you have seen on Fahan Trey's channel. He reviewed this bike quite a while back, and that's mostly the reason why I wanted to try it for myself. I have never ridden a inline 4-cylinder bike on public roads, aside from the Super 4, which was in a closed circuit. When you take a 2A course, you don't really get to bring it out on the what you call it, road circuit. There is the actual roads outside. Is when you upgrade your license, you only get to use it in the closed circuit. So this is my first inline 4 experience outside of the closed circuit for the schools, and it's a very good experience. Like I said, I really can understand why people go for the inline 4 Honda Super 400, Super 4, and use it as their daily ride. Hey, it's fun. You can give it all the beans, and it's not as overwhelming as a Super Sport inline 4, which is, I can assure you that it's probably way more power than what a 400 can do. But damn, well, since we're at a stoplight, there's not much of a turning radius. The handlebar locks just this much, and pretty much the same for the other side as well. You can't do a full U-turn by doing a steering lock. You really have to lean in there to have a U-turn done. Oh man, damn, hearing the engine rev up when you just neum off the stoplight that sounds damn nice. Yeah, we have another stoplight. Let's try to do that again. Damn. Hey, we're on a much smaller road. It's not really a highway now. There's a bit of twists and turns here. It feels very nice. Although it feels a bit heavier, a bit sluggish on, I don't know, so doesn't feel as light to flick around as I thought it would be. It's a bit on the heavier side. It's not as nimble as you call it. I really hate to use the word nimble because this mostly depends on the rider. Maybe because I don't have the tire pressure set up right. But it does feel a bit heavy when you're gonna get it on the sides. When you wanna get in the corner and stuff. It does feel a bit heavy. Not gonna lie about that. There's not much I can say about this bike. Aside from, well, this is an old bike. Everything's all worn out and faded, but the engine is still performs very well. I don't know. I mean, due to emissions regulations and stuff, Japanese makers don't even make the smaller inline fours anymore. Look at the CB400; it's been discontinued, and by next year there won't be any more in production. And so if you want to get an inline 400cc bike, you should go get one now. Like CB400 as the nearest one. They don't make the GSR anymore, so that's your next best option, man, for 400cc and below inline 4. Other than that, you have to wait for getting a class 2 license before you can get into any other kind of inline 4s, man. Everything else in the 2A sector is a barrel twin or single cylinder. So inline 4s in this category, the 2A category, is gonna be a bit rare starting from next year onwards, as the whole country is gonna be moving to EVs, electric vehicles, in the near future. No, but it's one feeling I have when riding a very smooth bike, is that you don't feel the sense of speed getting to you as fast as a single cylinder bike would. On a single cylinder, when you rev it up high, you feel all the vibrations, the wind blowing at you, and it feels like you're going really fast when you're really not. But on this kind of bike, it revs high. There's barely any vibration. There's still some, but it's not as bad as a single cylinder. And then you feel that sense of speed kind of escape you. You end up looking down at your meter and you're doing like 100 on a 60, on a 70, on a 60-70 road, and damn, could get you into trouble, man. Especially if you're not careful. Like most people said, most experienced rider would tell you, it's fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. I mean, it's not exactly slow, this bike, but in Singapore roads, oh, this isn't exactly slow in any means, man. We have reached my destination. That was my morning commute to work, and this is the car park that I usually park at. And yeah, final thoughts on this bike. It's a fun bike. The dual calipers, dual brake disc. It's what, Tokiko calipers. With steel braided lines. If I'm not wrong, this is steel braided lines with a Brembo master cylinder. The brakes work very well. But the rear brake kind of feels a bit. The travel for the rear brake is a bit far though. There's not much bite to it, but the front brake's fine. The engine is smooth. For an inline 4 is pretty standard. Everything else, oh, I mean, it looks big. The bike looks big. It looks huge. It looks bigger than a Super 4 for some reason. And this seat is pretty comfortable. I'm not sure if it's stock or not. Sounds nice. The exhaust sounds nice as a stock exhaust. The tires, these tires are nice to use. They kind of feel very firm and planted, especially for this wet weather. As you can see, like, floor is wet and everything on roads. Aside from that, narrow handlebars. For me, I'm used to a straight handlebar for my WR, and my MSX has recently installed a Pro Taper. pro taper handlebar as well, and it's pretty straight. So this kind of shorter and like a bit curved handlebar kind of feels a bit weird for me, but something you can get used to, not that big of an issue. They have this light switch installed for some reason, and yeah, that's my thoughts on this bike. Overall, it's a very good commuter bike. I can see myself riding this every day as a daily. In terms of style, I kind of like this style. We're very Suzuki, the curves, but they don't make this bike anymore. That's the sad thing. The closest thing you can get for an inline 4 nowadays is the CB400 Super 4. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else for class 2A has been either single or parallel twins. So this is like the last few. If you manage to find this on a carousel or shop selling it for use, if it's a good price, take it, man. Take it. Get the COE renewed if it's still possible to renew it. Or just take it. Don't ever scrap this bike or get it exported. Sell it to someone else. Someone else might appreciate this. It's a bit of a waste to have it scrapped or exported. So that's it for today. I'll end it over here and see you all next time. Let's go.